Good evening, folks. How is everyone tonight? Notice I got my wall back for those of you who have seen it before. Spent the weekend hanging pictures. Figured I've lived here 3 months. It was time to hang some pictures. Hey, Joyce and Danny. Enjoying the rain? Change the seasons are coming upon us, folks. Slowly. Hey, Heather, John, Tom, and Mary. How are you guys? Hey, Carter and Margaret. Kevin and Mary, good to see you guys. So, for those of you guys just listening, please enter your name in the chat and say hi. Tell us where you're from. Andy, Maria from Panama City. How is Maria? I think I know you, Maria. Alrighty, guys, we're going to get started here in a couple minutes. Waiting on Megan, who's going to join us shortly. Oscar is in Panama City right now, so maybe he'll pop on and say hi. Yeah, Brian. Yeah, Brian says lots of fun with hammer and a drill to hang artwork. It is. All the heavy stuff I got to drill because all the walls are concrete. But I use the command strips, and I have found them over the years to be very successful for your light stuff. So everything behind me is just on by command strips, and it doesn't hurt the wall. They hung for a couple of years on the last place, and when I took them down, there wasn't even a mark.
Okay, you can hear me now? And there's no background? No echo? Okay.
What happened to the picture?
Oh, I'm not. I'm at home. Similar color. I see you. Hmm. Can you guys hear Rod? 7. Haven't gotten any more chats yet. Rod has disappeared. Can everybody hear and see Rod okay? No, they're saying no. That's weird. I can hear him okay. He's gonna check his microphone. If you guys, he's working on fixing it, so if you can hear him, let us know in the chat if he fixes it. Oh, weird. Yeah, that's. Did that work? Can you guys see Rod now? No. Hmm. I did, but I'm also on the admin on a separate computer. I can try and just close out of that. Yeah, yeah. Not on the one I'm speaking on the one next to me. You guys can't hear or see Rod, but I'm talking to him right now. I see him perfectly fine. Okay, maybe we will. Rod got bumped off just before Megan came on. Okay, I'm gonna. Okay,
On Vimeo.
we'll see if that works. Hmm.
Like you actually have to leave.
So I,
There
I
he
closed
is.
out on. There he is. Yeah.
Okay. Yay. Okay, I'm back.
So I'll just let you handle the Q&A, Rod, because I
Oh,
don't want to
okay.
mess it up by going into the admin again.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Alrighty, let's get going. So let's do a quick introduction. Megan, you can start.
Great.
Got a bunch of
Okay.
people on here, so I want to make sure everyone sees us.
Yeah, and they say we can see and hear Rod. Awesome. Yeah,
There we
so
go.
in case there's anybody new, we are Retire in Panama. Rod's bringing up our website right there, retireinpanamatours.com. So we provide relocation tours across Panama, a cross-country 7-day tour, and a 3-day Cherokee Highlands tour, as well as our Panama Total Access Pass, which is new in the last year here and has been really popular for people who don't want to do a tour or maybe only want to focus on one region of the country, already know more or less where they want to be, and just need some extra support and some good, reliable contacts to help them get things going here. So I'm Megan. I'm originally from Pennsylvania. I moved here in 2018 with the Peace Corps and lived in rural communities for a while doing that work. And then I met my husband, Oscar, who leads the tours and is actually in Panama City starting a tour now. And well, I decided to stay in Panama. Now we are raising a family here in Boquete, which is where most of our team is based. But we've all spent time all over Panama. So we have a really good knowledge base for you guys, and we have contacts all over the country for anything you might need when you're doing your research and getting settled here.
Great. My name is Rod. I'm from Vancouver, Canada. I moved here in 2011. And within 2 months of me moving here, I met this guy here, Oscar, Megan's now husband, and he was my relocation guide when I first came here. Oscar was already helping expats move to Panama, and luckily I found him because he fixed a lot of things that I was in trouble with. And within months, we became business partners and started our journey. So we started our group tours in 2018, and before then, we just did private tours, couple singles. But since then, we've done the group tours, and we do two of them: a 7-day cross country and a 3-day Cherokees for those people that already know they want to live in a little cooler climate. And then we also launched our Panama Total Access Pass, which gives users everything they need to move to Panama without the tour. So you get access to all of our vetted networks of professionals across the country. You get a online 460-page book with 65 different chapters about moving to Panama. You can also get a hardcover copy of that book if you like to read like that. And all starts at $497 lifetime access. And that is what we do. Now, tonight, guys, we are going to talk about. Let me turn off the sharing. Oh, first of all, we have both a chat section and a Q&A section. I have just started the Q&A section. If you're on a computer, look to the left. You'll see chat at the top and Q&A at the bottom. And, well, right underneath it. Please put questions in the Q&A. They're too hard to bring over from the chat. So any questions you have, on a cost of living. And we're going to answer those questions first. You guys can ask anything, what it costs to do this, what it costs to do that. And we'll answer general questions as we get closer to the end of the Q&A. So can you see on your computer, Megan, the Q&A section on the right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So that is it, guys. So feel free. I'm going to bring up this. It won't take me long, 10 minutes or so, to bring up this little slide deck. Okay, can you guys hear me now? Sorry about this, guys. Can you hear me now? Yes. Okay, so I got to put my little face on there. You trying to say? Weird, eh? Okay. Now, most of you guys have read this already. Okay. Panama's inflation rate last 10 years 16.5. The US is 35.5 and Canada is 39. Go Canada, go. Like just some basic examples that we see in our everyday life. 10 bananas for $1. Now it's 8. That's a 20% increase. A dozen eggs in the store was $1.80. Now it's 2.10. The house I was renting 10 years ago now rents for 20% more. The 25-pound propane tank is a few pennies more. Electricity is the same. So, really, cost of living on basics hasn't really changed a lot. But your biggest cost of living is going to be your housing. Okay. Oh, the one thing to keep your cost of living down, learn to buy local. I took this shot um, last week in the grocery store nearby. Okay. Now, if you're insistent on Kellogg's cornflakes, that's a U.S. brand. It might be packaged for the North American market, but still manufactured with U.S. corn, and so the cost is going to be high. Now, you guys, maybe I'm on a big screen, you can see it, but the Kellogg's is 500 grams. It's $4.05. The local brand is 620 grams, and it's $2.61. You'll see that across the board on all North American slash local products. Folks, it's corn and it's flakes. Learn a new brand or try a new brand at least. Try new things. And you'll find yourself saving a lot of money in the grocery store. That goes from everything from pasta. Do you need ragu? I have some amazing locally made for the Ray's store tomato sauce or for pasta sauce. It's like $1.80 for the same tin that ragu is $4. So it's half price. And they even have a sugar-free version, which I like. So buy local and you'll save a lot of money. Now, I've separated housing into three categories. One, Panama City. One, the beaches area between Chamay and Rio Hato, and one, Boquete. Okay, that's what I did for this tour here. Now, what you're going to see here, especially in Panama City and the beaches area, the um, the actual cost of rentals and real estate is lower than it was 10 years ago. I used to live in Panama City 10 years ago. I had an apartment. The apartment I had, I was paying $11.75 a month. It now rents for $950 a month. I just saw the exact apartment up for rent last week. And okay, let's look at this place. There was no such thing that you could get a brand new renovated apartment. This is just a one bath. Sorry, this is a 2 bedroom, one bathroom, but it's all right on Via España. Good neighborhood. There's no gym, there's no pool, stuff like that, but it's $500 a month. So you can get affordable housing in Panama City. Now, this one here, also great neighborhood. Breezes to Golf is a beautiful, big, gated community and stuff like that. This is 2 bedroom, one bath apartment. Looks fairly new, modern, small kitchen, but hey, only one bathroom. But it's very affordable. Then you can get average, if you want to go a bit nicer, a bit larger. This is on Via Argentina, one of the most sought after places. This is a 3 bedroom, two complete bathrooms, parking, white line, swimming pool, all that stuff is $1,200. By the way, these are current listings, folks. These are not things I took from 8 years ago. If anyone wants to, we'll do the contact information and want copies of these listings. If I put a link down there, you can't click on it anyways. But these are current listings we got from either our rentals contacts or I found them myself in different Facebook groups or on other websites. So $1,200, which is a great price for this. This would have been $1,500 for a 3 bedroom 10 years ago. And okay, now we're moving to the beaches. This is really nice. And I started the slide deck last week searching for rentals, and this one rented. Okay, $750 a month in Nueva Gorgona. It's in a high rise. It's a 1 bedroom, one bath, great balcony, not huge, but it does have a great balcony with a great ocean view. And then the bedroom has that mountain view you see in the picture for $750 a month. No kidding, that rented fast. Mm-hmm. Now, this one here is Royal Palm, one of the more popular buildings in Gorgona, Coronado area, and is bigger, like much bigger actually. Fully furnished, king beds. See, it's very nice, and it rents for $14.50 a month. And this is fairly oceanfront too. Well, yeah, Royal Palms is basically very close to the ocean, like steps. Okay. I put two things in here. I don't really promote real estate, but some of you guys are going to want to buy or invest down the road. There are some crazy prices on the beach. Look at this one here. 2 bedroom in Royal Palms. I haven't it rented last year at 950. I did get that information, but it's now for sale for 150K. Great price on in this building. It's got to be the best price in that building right now, and the best price I've seen in several years. Okay, and I had to do this too when I saw this. A good friend of ours has this listing. It's a house, Santa Clara, near the beach. It is a 5 minute drive to the beach, so it's inland. It's in the community. You can buy a house that is 1,300 square feet, huge lot, like more than a quarter acre. Like that's a third of an acre lot. 2 bedrooms and 5 minute drive to the beach, 7 minutes to the supermarket, malls, and stuff like that. So things are affordable right now for rent and for sale. Now we're going to do Boquete. Again, all I hear so many complainers that everything's getting so expensive. It's not. It's really not much difference than it was 10 years ago. Or there's actually stuff when I came here in 2012. I came in 2011, but I was looking for a place to rent in Boquete in 2012. There are places today that rent for $100, $200 cheaper than they did in 2012. Like the $12,000, $1,200 stuff. So this is a 1 bedroom, 1 bath casita in Alto Boquete near San Francisco Plaza. So a 5 minute drive to town, but it's also right on the bus routes and the taxi routes. So a buck or buck and a half to get to town at the most by taxi. So 1 bedroom, 1 bath, hot water. What more would you need, eh? It includes water, electricity, Wi-Fi. So it includes everything. Probably not your gas. No one ever includes gas because you got to basically take the tank in to exchange it, the 20-pound propane tank. But a single person, mine lasts 2 months. I have two tanks, and I change one per month in this house because I have four appliances using it. So, but typically I used to go through a tank every 2 months. Now this here is also an Alto Boquete, a little closer, fully furnished, includes all utilities. It's a big studio with a big deck. It's newly remodeled. So there are good deals to be had. And here we go, right downtown. We have a 2 story. It's actually a 1 story plus loft, which is a 2 bedroom. I know the apartment. It's right on Main Street, so it's great for you active people that don't mind a little bit of traffic noise because you're going to have traffic noise on Main Street no matter what. Okay, but it's a good price. Things have rent. All these apartments have always rented for $1,000, $1,200 on right on Main Street. And this one looks newly remodeled, so it's nice. Includes your internet, but not your electricity. And this is very nice. This is something, I don't know if you've seen these, Megan. They're behind where the synagogue is. They're in behind there, kind of like hidden. They're brand new. They're 2 bedroom, 2 bath, fully furnished units. Electricity, like everything's included. Gardening, cleaning. Yes, cleaning is included. Up to $50 electricity, which you're never going to use in a house like that. So they're very nice, and you're right now 3 blocks from Main Street, but you're in a nice, quiet, treed area. So very nice units. And that's a good price to be right downtown in the brand new, nice size unit. Okay. Now, you'll hear A lot of, if you spend any time in Facebook forums, you will say there's so many expats here where they're making it more expensive for everyone else to live. For all the Panamanians, they can't afford to live now. Well, as I showed you, the lower end hasn't really increased in price, the lower end rentals. And we have these now. If you traveled through Panama, you have seen these across the country. I know you expats don't want to live here. I wouldn't live here either. It's the type of housing that maybe when I was 25 years old and starting out, I would have. But it's the type of housing that, you're in your kitchen, you run out of salt, you just open the window and tap on the neighbor's window to borrow the salt. So, um, no questions in the chat, guys. Put them in the question. So this one here is, oh, sorry, this one here is down by the beach, actually. But this give these didn't exist 10 years ago. And now I now know two Panamanians. One, a friend of one of my friends here, and the other one, my next door neighbor, my former next store neighbor, who have purchased these. A Panamanian can get in these for $75 bi-monthly mortgage payments. They cost 40,000, folks. And it gives them the opportunity of home ownership on a $800 a month salary, like many of them make. Now that has never existed. That is a whole new class of housing, and it's the type of thing. It's their first home. They're not going to live there the rest of their lives. They'll get some equity in it, and then sell it, and then move up to something else. But there is developer housing available for expats. Okay, let's look at that, and they're becoming very popular. We had another client last week. They've been here for a while, and they decided where they liked, and they purchased. And they purchased in the price range I'm talking here. The like one, well, I think they purchased low, slightly over the two, but this here, I took this picture this morning. This is in El Francis. El Francis is the beginning of the Boquete district, but it is a 12 to 15-minute drive from downtown Boquete, and it's a little warmer climate, but it's very quiet. And this development here is selling homes for 120,000 on 600-meter lots, which is a fifth of an acre. Now, on the next page, the one on the right, I just shot that this morning, is one of those homes on that property. The one on the left is another developer property where there's going to be 8 homes, all in decent sized lots, so you're not next to each other. I took this picture last April. I think Megan remembers. Oscar, Megan, and I went and saw this house because I was looking at making an offer on a piece of property there and building one of these. And they also still start at 120. You can do any upgrades you want. You can 120 is this was done really nice. It had granite, but really thin granite, like half-inch granite countertops and a decent kitchen and nice upgraded bathrooms, and it had nice flooring and ceilings. But you can do upgrades to it. The one I was looking at was going to cost me 145, but I opted out for two reasons. I wanted a quarter acre, and this one on the left was a little too close to the highway for my liking. But one on the right is off the highway. You won't hear the highway. So those options are available. It's a whole new class of housing, folks, that did not exist in Panama 10 years ago for expats, the $1 to $200,000 range, or even 1 to 250. Now, if we look at this is a cute little community. Megan might recognize it. Also a developer community. There are 12 homes. Everyone has at least a quarter acre lot. Everyone does their homes up differently, so it doesn't look like a clone type home. The bottom picture is actually the house on the left with the little chimney. That's my house. So I got into this market because I could afford it. Now, where 10 years ago I couldn't. There was nothing new. These are all new. Like mine's a brand new build, and they are affordable, decent, nice size. I got 1,350 square feet on quarter acre. I put a fence around it. I'm putting a big covered back deck, so I'm making it my own. Okay, couple more slides to go. Now, if we look at food, okay, Purchasing fruits and vegetables at the big supermarket can be twice as much and less free. I don't think I was trying to put that word, less fresh than from local vendors. Throughout Panama, you're going to find local vendors everywhere. They have little shops on the side of the road. We got a guy just minutes walking distance from my house that has his pickup truck pulled over in a shaded area, and he's got all kinds of pineapples for $1, big bag of banana for $1, and watermelons and all that stuff. Now, if you look on the right, you see this giant bag of vegetables. You can buy those along the Inter-Americana Highway in Cherokee, up and down the Volcan Highway. It's a giant bag of vegetables for $7. Now, these are prices directly from um, food from my freezer or from this week's Ray Supermarket flyer. Now, on the left, we have a steak, and I don't see things full screen, guys, so you have to excuse me. Um, $3.27 a pound, and that is a ribeye. It is a Panamanian ribeye, so I highly suggest a meat tenderizer before throwing that thing on the barbecue. On the right is I'm going shopping to Ray tomorrow to pick this up because it's usually $7 a pound. Is filet mignon. What we call filet mignon, they call filet de res. So filet of beef. So it's really, really good Panamanian filet of beef, and $5 a pound. Now here, pork loin is $4.90. I converted from kilograms and put the price on $4.90. And pork, they call it here pork steak, which is basically a pork chop without the bone. It's a well, there is some bone, but it doesn't look like a pork chop. And it's $3.20 a pound. Chicken is $3 and am I wearing the wrong glasses? I can't read that. 330 for boneless chicken breast. And yeah, you can tell this is out of my freezer. These are actually my favorite chicken wings. They are restaurant quality. We have a store called Cisco. You guys have them in the States too. They are the restaurant supplier. And you can get this 5 pound bag for $10. And here's the big one, guys. Ray, eggs are on sale. $1.80 a dozen tomorrow. They're normally $2 or 2.10. So really kind of gives you an idea. Now I'm going to try to take the slideshow. Let's go back to the scene. There we go. And I stayed on. There it worked.
Hopefully, I can
Yeah.
see you and hear you.
Okay. If you guys can't hear me, please
Let
come
us
on.
know if you can't
Yeah.
see Rod.
Yeah.
All right, well, we
Okay.
have lots of questions coming in.
Okay. Can you see the questions, Megan?
Yes, I just can't put them on the screen.
Oh, okay. So I should just start at the top and do them. What do you think? Rather than
Yep,
picking and choosing. Okay. All right. Okay. When renting, is the no pet policy on listings usually firm? Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say it's like the most common thing. There's a chance if you just have one small, well behaved dog or something like that, maybe they'll budge. But if it's no pets and you have a big dog or multiple pets, then probably not.
Mhm.
But we haven't found it to be difficult to find places that are pet friendly.
No, we've had pets. I've had pets since day one here. Oscar and Megan have had pets for 10 years. Well, how old's Kira? For a long time. And we've always found rentals for pets without a major problem.
Is it easy to find organic fruits and vegetables? Yes, depending where in the country you are. If you're in a more populated area with more foreigners, um, definitely you'll have like a Reba Smith or an Organica, or local providers that go to the weekly local market and they have organic vegetables, but maybe not in more remote areas.
Mhm. For certified organic, it's very difficult in Panama to get certified organic. First of all, people didn't know it existed and there wasn't any organization to do it. But I only know of one certified organic vegetable grower in Cherokee, and that's I can't even think of their names. They're at our Tuesday markets. There are many people. They come up near organic. They themselves do not use any pesticides and stuff like that in their growing, and that's more of get to know your vendors, talk to them, let someone invite you to visit their farms. But you still can't promise what the neighbor is going to do, and you're going to have anything blow over into your yard. That's why they can't say they're certified. They're near organic. Yeah.
Greg, for my tour that I have booked for September, should I go ahead and get my air tickets? Most likely be flying Copa. Yeah, absolutely. If you have any questions, just reach out to us. We're happy to steer you in the right direction.
Yeah, probably get a great deal now.
Is the pedestrian tunnel under Panama Canal going to happen? I think that hasn't been decided yet. That was like a competition that the Panama City mayor applied for, um, out of the United States. I think it was like Elon Musk's the I forget the name of the competition, but I think this week they're announcing the winner of that. If
Mhm.
we'll When we see the announcement, we'll be sure to share it on our Sunday news.
They're boring the tunnel for the extension of the metro, so you
Yes, the
can go
metro
under.
is definitely happening.
Yeah, that's happening. The tunnel's already started. So, oops, oops, just trying to get that up the screen. It won't let me. Archive. Hey, Tom and Joe. There's no such thing as public health benefits in Tom and Joe in Panama. Um, Panama does not have any free health care whatsoever. They have a public system that anyone can use: a tourist, a pensionado, um, a citizen, and then they have a private system. The public system is very inexpensive. It's like 50 cents to see a doctor, but you might have to get in line at 6 o'clock in the morning if you want to see that doctor. But I've known people to use the public system. Some are happy with it, some aren't. But the private system, you would look at getting health insurance to use the private system. Mhm. Archive. Hi guys, I'll be in Boquete March 24th to buy imported beef. Find the Panama beef has no fat. Yeah, there's the Argentina place. Argentinian beef is very popular here. It's in Los Establos. If you want to eat imported beef, go to Butcher Chop House. They'll have selections from 5 different countries, including USDA. Mhm. It's a
Yeah,
steakhouse.
we like the Corte Argentino. It's next to the Catoa in the center of town. They have some nice imported beef.
Mhm. Try the Panamanian fillet. Really, you have to. It is it does have fat. It is marbled. It's not aged, yeah, but it's like I had it last night in a restaurant, and honestly, they it. I'm not going to say it's a low end nest. It's a wonderful restaurant, but they really need new steak knives. So I was cutting mine with the fork. Like it was really nice. Good.
Normandy, hey guys. It's great to see you. We really miss it there. Anywho, we are wondering when purchasing a home, is there a land transfer tax like in Canada?
When selling a home, there's 5% tax, 2% transfer, 3% goes to some other government. But when you're buying it, no. Mhm. Yeah. So basically, when you sell your house, that's why we tell people make sure you're going to be happy where you live there. Because when you sell it, not only is it a year, up to a year in a market, you're going to need to make at least 10% more than you bought it for to break even because your relative fees are five and your taxes are five. Hey, Andy.
Yeah, you cannot apply for the visa before you come to Panama. You do need to be here in person at the time of application. But certainly you'll want to connect with a lawyer before you come down and make sure you have everything in order and you have your appointment set up for when you get here. And you can get it before actually moving. The only requirement to maintaining the visa or the permanent residency is not being out of Panama for more than 2 consecutive years. So you can get it before moving. You just need to be here in person for the actual application.
Okay. Hey,
What
Gary.
is the interest rate banks paying on the CD for a Friendly Nations visa?
Current posted 4.25 to 5. It fluctuates 0.25%, maybe half a percent a year. But I just talked to someone who, well, one of our guests, and it was 4.75 that they at the bank that they went with last month. That's for a 3-year term. You need a 3-year term for a friendly nation, not 2 years like many people advertise, because it takes 2.5 years to get the visa. Ah, smoked brisket. There we go. That's what he wants to meet for. Show unseen. Hey, Heather. Wire transfer, basically. Um, if you're going with the CD, so what's going to happen is the lawyer is going to work with the bank, so you can actually get your account open before you get your residency. Banks will do that anyways, as long as they have a letter from the lawyer saying that you're in the process of residency. They'll want to see your physical card a few months down the road. But and then you'll get a bank account because you need a bank account for the CD because that's where they put the interest. And then you can wire transfer the money from Canada to your Panama bank account. Oop! I accidentally deleted John's question. While on tour, will my cell phone work?
Yes. It's up to you how you want it to work. If you want to be able to get direct phone calls and text messages to your home number, then you'll want to check with your current provider about an international roaming plan. If you don't care about that, then you can um, turn off your cellular data when you're here and just use Wi-Fi. We have Wi-Fi in our tour van, in the hotels, in the airport, in the restaurants, and stay connected that way. Or you can get a Panama SIM card, and they sell those preloaded right in the airport, and that will give you a Panamanian number but roaming cellular data, so you'll be connected everywhere. You just won't be able to get direct phone calls. You can stay connected with WhatsApp, email, social media apps, everything else. And another option is an eSIM. You can do that too.
Okay. So for proof of income for the visa, can I transfer money from an overseas bank in your name? Hey, Andy, I'm not sure what visa you're talking about. If usually proof of income is always tax returns. It's not that they want to see your money. If you're opening a bank account, because there's no visa that you need proof of income unless it's a digital nomad visa that I know of. So if you want to clarify that, which visa you're going to, so we can answer that a little better for you. Pensionado. Oh, your proof of income is your pension statement. So once you start working with the lawyers, they're going to tell you how you're going to download your pension letter and what has to happen to it as far as stamps, authentications. And then there's going to be an affidavit done by yourself through your lawyer stating that this pension is for life. And if you are from, I see, you're saying overseas bank, depending on where you're from and where your pension is from. If it's not U.S. Social Security or Canadian pension, or I think Great Britain, they know well. If it's from a country that Panama is not very familiar with, there might be a few more pieces of paper you need. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Megan. I clean this up. Oh, Megan, you're muted.
Sorry.
I do that all the time.
Kira was talking. My dog was talking to me. Um, L- Loney, is it safe to drive there from the States? Um, we wouldn't really suggest it, at least not by yourself. There are some caravans that you can join of people who do this regularly and they do it in a group. They know what paperwork to have for crossing borders, where to go, where to stay. That would be a safer way to do it. Um, it's definitely not the easiest way. Some
No.
people think it might be easier because they can bring their stuff or their pets, but you need paperwork for everything that you're bringing. Pets are, it's going to be different paperwork for every border. A lot of times there are timelines involved that you need to have vaccinations within a certain amount of days crossing each border. And then with household goods, cars, all of that needs to be registered with customs if you're planning to keep it in Panama and cross borders with
Mhm.
those things. So it's complicated.
It is. Like Lonnie, we hear many people that have done it by themselves. We don't hear the people that it didn't go well. That's because they never made it. Just kidding. But no, it like honestly, I wouldn't do it. I consider myself an adventurer. Seven borders, and if you don't know the language, and some of the countries, look them up. They're not the safest. Some parts of Mexico aren't safe. We all know that. Nicaragua, Honduras have some unsafe areas, and if you don't know those areas, but definitely if you want an adventure, go to Facebook and type in overlanders. You're going to find the Central American Overlander group, and they are people that go in groups and go in caravans. That I think I might even do. It would kind of be a blast.
Yeah, people will say that have done it, do it if you're just looking for the experience and the
Yeah.
adventure of it.
Mhm. But not to do it to save money. A lot of people do it so they can bring their car. And once they come here and they find out what they have to do to keep their car, they really wish they hadn't done it. And Lonnie
Loney,
also
do I
had
need
it.
any? Yeah, do I need anything beside a passport to come visit first? For most countries, that's all you need. It's just your passport. So, um, yeah, if if you're European or North American, just your passport, and then you'll stamp in. If you're from the U.S. or Canada, you can stay for 180 days. All other tourists can stay for up to 90 days. And I'll just go ahead and answer Carrie's question at the same time.
Mhm.
She said, I understand that you only have 90 days to drive on a USA license. Yeah, so because there was this extension for US and Canadian citizens, to stay for up to 180 days. They did not change the driving law for them, even though, because for the rest of tourists, it's only 90 days that you're allowed to drive on a foreign driver's license. So it's the same, even though you can stay for 180, you can only drive for 90. So that's okay. Bye. No, it's going to Panama City. Um, so yes, that's something to keep in mind if you do want to stay up to 180 days and drive.
Bob, do rentals typically require a lease? Yes. But it's not like the US lease. There's going to be no credit check done on you because they have no way to do that. If you break the lease, you're basically going to lose your deposit. They can't sue you. There's no system set up like that. So it's more of a win-win for the renter. I wouldn't want to be a landlord in Panama, honestly. So, but especially if you're paying a real estate agent to lease your place a month. Yeah. Oop. Let's get this one, Megan.
What is the best city to live in if you do not want to have transportation? So if you don't want to have your own car, then you'll want to live in a bigger town or city that has more access to buses or metro or taxis or Uber. Um, Only Panama City really has metro and Uber. Everywhere else would be public buses and taxis. And a lot of people do it and they just have their favorite taxi number saved in their phone and they make sure to um, give them a little bit of advance if they need a special trip or be near a bus route where buses go by regularly. So, any of the bigger towns or cities.
Andy's from the UK, so no, you won't have any issues with the UK pensions. UK, there's a bunch of you here. Okay, let's go into this one. How do I purchase health insurance? Well, Demarius, first of all, to get an international plan, well, basically to get any plan, you want to be in the process of residency in Panama. So when you first move here, you want to buy yourself some travel insurance for the first month or two. And then you want to look at whether or not you want an international plan, which is full coverage, small deductibles, 100%, no copays, or if you want a local plan, which are typically copays. Like you pay 30%, the hospital pays 70. And where are you going to live? A local plan is not very feasible outside of Boquete, David, or Panama City because that's where the hospitals that offer them are. International plans are good across the country. And you find yourself a good qualified agent who can quote you a dozen companies because based on what your needs are, what your budget is, you want to compare everything good out there. And what you're not going to find, this is what a lot of US folks get shocked at, you're not going to find US companies. These are going to be companies you've never heard of before. Mapfree, Worldwide Medical, Bupa, Mercantile. And you think, oh my God, no, they're not Panama companies. They are international companies, many of them headquartered in Germany, Spain, Brazil. They just don't deal with U.S. insurance. Well, they don't sell you insurance in the U.S. because you guys know the cost of insurance in the U.S. They will cover you when you go there for typically up to 90 days at a time. That's not a problem, but yeah, if you want more information, go to our website. I just put the link in the chat section, and you'll see under other there, you'll see the health insurance information, and we can get you connected with somebody. Also, on that link, if anyone wants to hit the contact us button, any questions on this chat, maybe you're looking for a place to live. We only give our agents serious people, folks, because if you're just browsing now, use the internet like I did and do your browsing and do your comparisons. But if you're actually looking for a place to live here, let us know. Mhm. Maybe we can help. We'll try. Mhm. Okay, clearing out some stuff here. Okay. Find one-on-one tour guides of Panama in Panama City. Yeah, sure it is, Lonnie. There's a lot of great tour guides. Our Panama Total Access Pass, that's what that's about, folks, because with this product, we have local, like, honestly, the best, most reputable, not going to rip you off, or they'll have to deal with Oscar, me, and Megan, tour guides in the entire country. So a lot of people purchase our Panama Total Access Pass just for that reason. And of course, the immigration referrals, the healthcare referrals, the banking referrals, everything. And so you have access to all of our preferred guides. Mhm. Don, I deleted your question again. Uh, I'm hitting delete rather archive rather than show on screen. John asks,
You
give me
can
some.
see the archived questions.
Oh, yeah, there we
Just
go.
switch over to archived.
Oh, but I can't. Oh, unarchive.
Just
Thank you,
search.
man. There we go. Can you give some examples of the hotels you use on the 7 day tours? Better than that, John, after this call, I'll send an email to you with all seven that are going to be on your tour. So we don't change very often. In fact, in the last 5 years, I think we've changed two hotels because we've outgrown them. Only reasons. Mhm. They were. We stay in the smaller, higher end but smaller boutique style hotels. In sometimes we have the whole hotel, like at the beach at Chilpoli. We often have the whole thing. Otherwise, they are Panama style but higher end, like 4 star, what Panama would consider 4 star. We don't put you in U.S. name branded stuff attached to shopping malls or all inclusive resorts because that's really not what Panama is. We want to teach you what Panama is like. Our hotels are typically more expensive than those because they are boutique hotels. All right, 4 minutes to. I think I answered all the questions. Well, we hope you guys learned something. Especially, what comments do you have on cost of living? You're running a whole family there, Megan. Like, what are some examples of you that you can do here that you just couldn't do if you were back in the states? Unmute.
Well, speaking of,
Yes.
yeah,
One
I
per
mean,
minute.
how school, school
School.
and childcare, I think, is much more affordable.
Yeah. Venus goes to private school, and private school is a fortune. Is a fortune. Is a fraction of the cost of private school in the U.S. What do you pay
Yeah,
for a day?
even just for a nanny, like a full time nanny, a lot of Panamanians are paying maybe like $600 a
A month?
month for a
Yeah.
full time nanny.
Hey, Lonnie. Every Thursday night we have these Q and A's. So I don't know how you found us, but if you go to the website, link is right there in the chat. Just send us a message or click on our newsletter and just type this in your email address, and we'll send you an email the day of the Q and A. Hey, Chris, we'll take this last question. Once you submit your pensionable visa, does your driver's license become active? Once you receive your temporary card, your driver's license becomes inactive, which is less than a week usually after you submit. So, but you can't get your driver's license without the temporary card. So, what a lot of people do, immigration in the U.S. in Panama City is close to a driver's license office, and in David, it's in the same building. So they coordinate that they're ready to go get their Panama license on the same day they get their immigration card. And that takes care of that. Perfect. All right, I think we're done, Megan.
Thanks,
All
everyone.
right. Thanks, guys.
See you next
We will see
Thursday.
you again next week. If anyone's still on, if you want a copy of the slide deck, I know it doesn't show the listings, but just again, hit the contact information. I can send you the PowerPoint. Mhm. Excuse the 2 spelling errors I found on it. Okay. All right, guys. Bye.